Crowd is coming to its feet. The Chevrolet Corvette pace car will be pulling down pit road, making that left turn right there. And here comes Juan Pablo Montoya and Jimmy Johnson and the 17th Brickyard 400 at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, with Dallas Clark of the Indianapolis Colts on the tower, waves the green flag, and we are green. Saw Jeff Gordon get a little close to the wall in turn 2. Juan Pablo Montoya, trouble already down in turn 2. Sam Hornish has turned around. The 18 of Kyle Busch is going around. Hornish still in the middle of the racetrack. Look out, that was close.
Looks like Kyle Busch got by without much damage, but you see Hornish has damage, and also looks like Reed Sorensen.
Definitely Reed Sorensen in it. There is Sam as he has turned around, the 2006 Indy 500 winner. Also, the winner just a couple of weeks ago, David Rudiman.
We had a big amount of rain last night.
Left side tires up, David.
This track was very green when this race started.
Yeah, that outside groove is always very slick to start this race. And as you pointed out, Andy, with no rubber there whatsoever, the whole racetrack's going to have a lot of slickness to it.
In fact, so much rain that NASCAR calls for a mandatory caution at lap 15.
Looks like Elliott Sadler going down there, too, might have had some damage.
You see just a little damage on the left front fender from Kyle Busch's car there, but man, Reed Sorensen's car is destroyed.
Todd Bodine also in it. Here we go.
Looks like Kyle's one sideways.
Yeah, looked like Kyle got sideways and into Hornish. There's 0 into Elliott Sadler's 19.
Yeah, and then you see Reed, and that's where he gets all his damage. He kind of KOs the wall, and then Elliott Sadler. Looks like Bobby Labonte got into it. See a splitter laid on the track, maybe Sadler.
Another angle from down lower. Boy, Hornish, it's amazing he didn't get tagged again. I mean, he was still in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, but I think he got into the wall right there with the right rear of his car. That's a significant amount of damage for him. These two things kind of happened at the same time right there. Not sure that the two of those contacted the 18 and the 77 to start this.
Almost looks like two separate spins.
Yeah.
But, you have to almost think they're related here.
He was running 14th before he came in for that unscheduled stop. Let's check in the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer.
Marty, one of the most vulnerable areas on the race car is right here at the splitter. This is where all the grass comes up, and once you stop this area, you got to get that area clean. But before the race in the countdown show, we showed where the guys, colder weather here, you can put more tape on it, but if you get greedy, the engine's going to run really hot.
All right, Tim, thanks for that update. Let's also update you on some other cars. Blaney has gone back out. He's 8 laps down on the track. Robbie Gordon, another car in on pit road. Jamie, what's the latest there?
Absolutely, same thing. Overheating for the 7. He's yelling to his crew. He didn't want tires. Just get that grass off the grill. That was the exact same problem with Kenny Hamlin, guys. And the 39 of Ryan Newman, it was a fender rub. They think they got it.
All right, thanks, Jamie. You saw right there on the left side of your screen, the 33 of Clint Boyer trying to get around the 12, Brad Keselowski. We also wanted to update you that the 55 of Michael McDowell is back out. He's 3 laps down. And the 88's in.
I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like this. You know, it's just all these cars running hot just because of this grass kicking up.
Vince?
Yeah, that was exactly the situation for the 88. He was overheating, so they had to come in and get a little tape off the front end, as you see the 13 with a problem.
Oh, and we've got multiple problems. That's Robbie Gordon, as he has shredded the right front.
I have to wonder if maybe Robbie Gordon making that green flag pit stop might have slid the front tires coming to pit road as he tried to get down to pit road speed.
Second caution of the day here, as we have completed 14 of the required laps. And boy, the 13 is still on fire. Max Pappas was so thrilled that he had made his first Brickyard 400. He has qualified twice for the Indianapolis 500. He said, Marty, I've made Daytona and Indy and now the Brickyard. And it looks like his day is over.
Andy, these crew chiefs really to help their cars handle it, put a lot of tape on the front end to try to make sure that they can turn, but in turn then it's biting them whenever they get just a little bit of debris there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's just that this car is just so vulnerable to that. I don't care how much tape you've got on there, even if it's wide open. When you start stacking that grass in there, it virtually blocks it off. And, I've never seen this many cars have that kind of problem so quickly.
Robbie Gordon limping back to pit road. And right now, we have 32 cars on the lead lap after 15 laps.
Yeah, I think this is just exactly what you said, Dale. He was coming down pit road, Robbie Gordon, and slid that right front tire trying to get on pit road, get it clear, and get back out and not lose a lap. But so this caution really kind of brought out by this, whatever this is, this grass getting up in the grills of all these cars.
Okay, NASCAR has told crews they can refuel. So pit road, when it opens up, you may see a bunch of takers this time by. Juan Montoya is probably wondering what's going on. He's had clean air and a beautiful view, and it's been kind of lively behind him.
Yeah, you don't get that debris if you're the lead dog.
Yeah, he goes back and watches the tape of this race and see everything we were trying to show and trying to keep up with all this. He'll be amazed at what was going on.
It's making me dizzy.
Yeah.
Well, Juan's going to take, and so are all the others right behind him. Jimmy Johnson, Mark, and right on through. Here comes the field. Let's go to pit road. Vince, you're up.
Well, Tony Stewart has had a good car so far today. They set it up to be a little bit snug because they thought the car would be loose at the start, and then the plan was to free it up on this first stop. So they're going to make a 4-tire change, give him a little bit more freer race car for the 14 of Tony Stewart. 4 tires and fuel. Jamie?
And Mark Martin says he's just a tick loose. They're going to make a wedge adjustment right side. So the grill on the 5 looks good, Doc.
Jimmy Johnson has no complaints. Right side tire, putting the grill, and he is gone. How about Montoya Day?
He said, clean the grill. I know I got grass on it. They gave him 2 tires full of Sunoco fuel. He'll get beat off pit road by Jimmy Johnson. But Juan Montoya wanted a slight track bar adjustment for a loose race car.
And Jimmy Johnson pulled out onto the racetrack instead of taking the warm-up lane.
That's going to be costly right there.
Unless they were told they could do this.
Okay, because
of the blown tire
here.
Yeah.
All right, so NASCAR officials have confirmed that it was okay for him to go out immediately onto the racetrack. Coming down towards the green flag. Dallas Clark is still up in the tower. Reminds us of Jack Nicholson. He stayed up there for quite a while for the Indy 500. Back to green flag racing.
You can see Montoya try to get over there on the right rear corner of Jimmy Johnson's car to see if he can stay up beside him and maybe make a pass here.
So far, so good.
Boy, Montoya, he likes that groove, and boy, he is making it work. Kenny clearing, coming out of 2. Jimmy says, hold on a second. We're going to try and go down the backstretch side by side. He's got a little help from Mark Martin behind him.
See Montoya once again trying to get over and side draft a little bit, slow Jimmy down. It worked.
Here comes Montoya again on that higher line. Through 3. This time, can he hold on to it on the north chute? He's got the position.
Impressive pass right there.
It's hard enough to pass on the outside on an Indy car, let alone with one of these 3,400-pound sleds. Holy smokes, what a great move.
Well, he just did everything textbook that you have to do. He side drafted him twice, got that car slowed down a little bit, and then was able to dive off in the corner ahead of Jimmy.
Little action further back there is Clint Boyer trying to get underneath Joey Logano. Logano sliding up the track. This could cost him more than just a few spots.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be there. You get outside of that groove, and it's very slick. No grip at all.
Yeah, he said that vibration's getting worse. And now if I'm the crew chief, I'm getting worried now because I would hope that he would calm down a little bit and say, okay, maybe it's staying the same and it's okay because the lap times are good. But here he comes, guys. He's coming down pit road.
So here we are working lap number 38 of 160. And remember, we had the competition caution back on lap 15. So that gives you an idea just how far they can go. So Juan Montoya brings it down pit road, and we guaranteed you he wouldn't speed. So I'm sort of on the line here. Dave, he's coming your way.
And you see the idea here, Marty, with an issue like they had, they wanted to make sure they could finish this race and perhaps win it. So when the discussion came that the vibration was getting worse, crew chief Brian Patty said, well, hey, we're within our fuel window for this particular run, so go ahead and bring it. They'll change 4 tires this time. They'll make no chassis adjustments to the car. The handling was pretty good, but he said I couldn't stand the vibration. You can see big chunks out of the right front tire on that 42 car. So definitely chunks of rubber out of the right front, and that was what was causing the big vibration for Juan Pablo Montoya on that run.
And what does it spell for the rest of the field if he's got 4 really good tires underneath him?
Well, the problem is here now, you know, that's a tire that must have had a defect in it from the start, because that tire was vibrating, and we thought it might be loose. You see Harvick now jumping out of line.
Yeah, Harvick going around that slower traffic. That's the 09 of Bobby Labonte, the 2000 winner here. He's one of those victims from that first lap crash. And here comes Clint Boyer as well.
Well, getting back to the Montoya thing, that was not what they expected to find. They expected to find a loose wheel. They're going to have to look at this tire now and figure out, is this just a defect in the tire, or is this something we need to worry about the rest of the day?
Back here at the Brickyard 400, presented by Golden Corral, and you see the race leader, Juan Pablo Montoya, but he's going to have an issue here in the not-too-distant future. Remember, he stopped earlier by 11 laps over Greg Biffle. Biffle's lap times have been on average 0.8 of a second quicker, guys.
Yeah, you're going to see that. I mean, the tires have that much pressure on Biffle's, and Biffle's car is really good. We saw him just really make up a lot of time on that first.
That last 15 more laps. 15, just let you know.
The last green flag run, you're hearing 15 more laps now on Montoya.
And that was Juan Pablo's radio, so you can do the math, and you'll see when they're ready to come in. Behind Biffle, as he's closing in on Sam Hornish, who is several laps down, 2 to be in fact, in 32nd place. Mark Martin is running in 3rd. Then you have Clint Boyer in 4th. Jamie McMurray 5th. Kevin Harvick 6th. So out of the top 6, it's 5 Chevrolets and Greg Biffle the lone 4. We were in commercial break. We've had another lead change, our 9th lead change between 7 different cars. Greg Biffle, we told you he was closing, had better tires. Here's what happened while we were away.
It was pretty inevitable this pass was going to happen, but you see, Greg Biffle, he is really up on the wheel now trying to catch Montoya. Just pulls out of the slipstream there and passes him on the front straightaway. Looks like Montoya didn't give him a lot of trouble.
And let's watch from the onboard. Looking out the back of Montoya.
Yeah, watch the run that Greg Biffle gets right here. Off of turn 2, you can see that 42 got a little bit loose. That allowed Biffle to come, make a pretty easy pass.
And that's the one thing Juan didn't want to see. That 16 car going away, and he's pulling away. He's up to a 0.6 of a second lead.
Well, one thing Montoya would love to see right now is a caution flag, and that would put him back on the same sync with the rest of the cars and get him back in the game before he loses too many more spots.
Yeah, I'd say he's within 6 or 7 laps here of probably making his pit stop.
And we got the caution. Turn 2, debris.
Turn 2.
So what Juan Pablo Montoya, you heard Andy talking about needing that break because he was going to continue to lose ground with those older tires. He gets the break that he needs, and he's running in 2nd place.
This is exactly what this team needed. They got a bad break last year. Yeah. This is a good break this year. They got in there before they had a tire go down and got it off of there. Now they're back in sync with the rest of the competitors and no worse than 2nd. So I'd say it's a good break for this team.
Pace car has pulled down. Race leader Greg Biffle has selected the inside lane. Montoya, McMurray, Boyer, Martin, Harvick. That's your top 6 as they come down the front stretch here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Green flag waves, and we're racing once again.
Maybe McMurray had ideas of trying to go to the inside of Greg Biffle, who got a great start also.
Boy, Biffle looks so good there. You know, this is the first time Ford has led since 2008 at the Brickyard 400. And Greg Biffle's trying to check out.
And he blasted out of there.
Too wide. Going to try and make it 3 maybe, guys. A little rubbing going on down the backstretch there. Mark Martin's got his hands full. That's Harvick on the inside. Martin Truex wanted a piece of it as well. There's Kurt Busch in the 2. Go on board with Kurt.
Yeah, what he sees right here in front of him is a lot of racing going on. Now they get back single files. Harvick's able to take that spot away from Mark Martin.
Kyle Busch has got the inside line on Jeff Burton, and Gordon's right behind Busch as they come down the front straightaway. Looks like Kyle's going to clear him. Can Gordon follow as well? The answer's no. There you see Greg Biffle passing 2 former Indianapolis 500 winners, and we've got pit stops happening already under green. Vince?
Tony Stewart is in. He had been running down as far as 21st and then started charging up to 11th. Darian Grubb has been massaging this car all day long, and it's getting better and better. We'll see if Stewart can be a factor down the stretch. Good stop by the 14 guys.
As Tony comes back out, you saw Greg Biffle. He has come awfully close to that wall every time he's on that lap, the last 3 laps, and here comes a bunch of people, including second place Juan Pablo Montoya is heading towards you, Dave Burns, if he can make sure that Marcus Ambrose doesn't get in the way.
And he doesn't want any distractions when he's coming down pit road. You heard him say that he really doesn't do anything different, even after that speeding penalty on pit road last year. Certainly he'll watch that tachometer to make sure he's not over this year. Come down and calling for no changes right now on the car. It was a little bit loose when he slammed on the brakes, but that was just a condition he can control with his own feet. So they won't make any adjustments. The tires going on are fresh and full of air. And so far, after that first right front was bad, no problems at all for Juan Pablo on the tires. Jamie?
And Mark Martin was too tight in traffic. The call was 4 tires, 2 rounds out of wedge in the left rear. It was a good stop. He's down and away. Dave?
Jamie McMurray is on and off of pit road. Kevin Harvick leads pit road. Harvick's car was going back to the original air pressures. He didn't like the way that felt. Jamie McMurray was loose. Also leaving pit road, Jeff Burton during this round of pit stops.
Jeff Gordon as well. There's Matt Kenseth coming back out. Dale Earnhardt Jr. as well, as everybody here working lap number 98. Now this puts an interesting twist into this as everybody pits on lap 98. That's whoa, look out!
Just about got tagged.
Biffle's in. Let's go take a look.
All right, come on, we'll get it.
Very close call for the leader right there. He said the water temperature was good. It would have been bad if he'd crushed the radiator right there, but he gets around Keselowski. So coming in, Greg Biffle wants a half round on the wedge adjustment, just a little bit loose on the race car. Doc?
Likewise, a little bit loose for Kurt Busch. 4 tires, slight air pressure adjustment. Busch is down and away.
So after a heart-stopping moment for Greg Biffle and his team, Roush Fenway Racing. Let's go back to Doc one more time.
And what a difficult day it has been for Jimmy Johnson. Again, major chassis adjustments. They went back to the garage and came back with a handful of shock absorbers. They were thinking about changing shocks if they can get a pit stop under the yellow flag. 4 tires, and again, Jimmy is away.
And the 99 of Carl Edwards rotated through to the lead, but now he has pulled down pit road, and he makes his way down that long, slow 55-mile-an-hour trek towards his pit stall, well past start-finish line. Doc?
Carl Edwards saying the car is a little bit free in and free off. It's still tight in the middle of the corner. They are continuing to make just ever so slight air pressure adjustments. Carl said it's gotten better. It is more free than tight. If they can just help him on the exit, the car will be a lot better in terms of making a pass.
You can see that Reed Sorensen, after that early incident where he got heavy damage, they had managed to get back out, and that was our over-the-wall Sean Peak, the jack man for the team. You saw them complete theirs. They are 37 laps down in 35th position. And that was that big wreck that we had on lap number 1 that put them behind the wall. We can also tell you Robbie Gordon has gotten back out on track. He had an incident earlier with a blowout. He is 54 laps down. There comes the race leader, and it is Juan Pablo Montoya with Greg Biffle right behind. And the reason for that, guys, as we're looking at the clocks, it looks like pit stops.
Well, the pit stops are very comparable right there, just looking at them, 13.2 to 13.5. And looks like maybe that hiccup Biffle had getting into his pit stall from Keselowski cost him some time.
Jamie, just as you started your report, we saw a piece of debris come flying out of turn 2, and there it is. It's out of the race groove.
Could be just some tape that flew off of a car. Can't really tell what it was, but it
looked like a piece of sheet metal, and now somebody's run over it and kind of wadded it up.
Hey, you see right there, it does look like a crush panel.
May have off of Rudiment.
Yeah, it was. You see, now we got a caution for debris.
And the caution is out, because that could cut a tire, and there it is.
Yeah, right off of Rudiment's car.
And Juan Pablo does hit it. Now the question is, no, he didn't.
Montoya missed it, but definitely Newman hit it.
It got Newman's car. All right, let's reset it for you. It's Juan Pablo Montoya. He has selected the inside, as everybody has all day. Greg Biffle, then McMurray. Boyer 4th. Harvick 5th. Kyle Busch 6th. Mark Martin 7th. Tony Stewart 8th. Carl Edwards 9th. Casey Kane is now in the top 10. Pace car is off, and we're back to green flag racing here at the Brickyard. McMurray right behind his teammate.
And we got some beating and banging there too. Kevin Harvick kind of spun the tires on the start of that. Gives Kyle Busch a little contact.
Looks like they've sorted it out. Coming down the straightaway, boy, Greg Biffle side by side with Montoya. He had a nose in front of him, but here comes Montoya right back.
Yeah, a little drafting right there with teammates has definitely helped Montoya get the lead.
And Ganassi is now running 1 and 2 in his quest for the trifecta.
It sure is, and this may be the pass. We have a lot of laps to go and another pit stop, but we saw Jimmy Johnson last year take the lead late from Mark Martin and was able to parlay that into a victory.
Boy, Casey Kane, you saw him. He's moved up 2 spots now. He got around Harvick there into the 8th position. Welcome back to the Brickyard 400 under our 5th caution. Make sure to go to NASCAR.com for all your latest NASCAR information. We've got debris on the racetrack and a 3.7-second lead for Juan Pablo Montoya, who has now led 84 laps and secured the 5 bonus points for only the 3rd time in his career. The other 2 times he finished 3rd and 11th in those races. Right now he's up front ahead of teammate Jamie McMurray, Greg Biffle 3rd, Clint Boyer 4th, and Tony Stewart is 5th. As far as the lucky dog this time around, it'll go to David Reagan. We'll put 23 cars back on the lead lap, and so let's talk a little strategy now that we got all that sorted out.
Same as last time, 4 tires and fuel.
And you
just
guys
can't afford to do anything else. Tires are worth too much here. You can't really afford to do any 2-tire strategy if you're going to win this thing.
And these guys get paid a lot of money to make that call that quick.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. But you may see some guys back that are outside the top 10 decide to try 2 tires. They don't have a lot of laps on the left side tires.
We'll see how it works for them.
Well, it's just an opportunity. They're not going to win the race. They may not be able to drive their way into the top 10. They could try to steal a few positions here.
Well, I would advise against it.
I would too, yes. But we always see somebody willing to take a little bit of a chance.
Well, remember, Jeff Gordon, he would be able to stay out and get the wave around, get back on the lead lap. He stopped with about 32 laps to go, so this may end up getting him back at least into a respectable finish.
Yeah, I would say that they'll try to do that. Since he is probably in his fuel window to finish the race, especially with these cautions. So may not be the finish they were looking for, but it could salvage something.
4, planning on 4.
Well, just made you look like a good guy there, planning on 4.
Well, let's see how it works out.
It's Greg Biffle's radio that we were listening on. Got to be 55 miles an hour coming down pit road. And Vince, we're going to let you take it away.
Well, Tony Stewart's pit crew has done a great job all day long gaining him positions in the pits, and they need a couple of spots here as he comes in 5th. Tony says the forward bite is the best it has been all day long. So they're going to make a slight track bar adjustment and 2 tires for Tony Stewart, Doc.
Clint Boyer begging Shane Wilson, guys, we got to go back on the air pressure. We got to get it back. The first couple laps of the restart, I can't even get the car to turn in the corner at all. They have gone back. Dave.
The 2 leading cars from Earnhardt Ganassi racing with Felix Sabates will do different things. Jamie McMurray takes 2. Juan Pablo Montoya, he wanted to go for 4, and that's interesting because McMurray thought he might have a flat. I hope it wasn't on the left side.
Wow, Montoya takes 4, Biffle takes 4, and look where they come out. 7th, 8th, Boyer, 9th, Busch, 10th. The 2-tire strategy by the first 6 cars, and Kurt Busch picks up 8 spots.
Well, we'll see in about 15-20 minutes we'll know we made the right call. He's 7th to the inside. Just do the best you can. You got to get pretty aggressive here.
All right, green flag's coming. The 7 waiver rounds. Hamlin, Allmendinger, Smith, Newman, Johnson, Hornish, and Jeff Gordon. Up front, it's McMurray and Stewart in the front row. Then Harvick and Martin. Then Kurt Busch and Jeff Burton. And then Montoya and Biffle rounding out your top 8. And we're back to green flag racing. And boy, McMurray jumps and takes a big lead into 1.
Yeah, it's almost like Tony Stewart was asleep at the wheel there on that restart. Great start for McMurray.
Kevin Harvick into 2nd. Look at all the action in behind them coming through 2. That's Biffle and Montoya side by side. Remember,
he's got him right there.
And you heard Montoya's crew chief tell him he might have to get a little bit aggressive. I think he's got the right man to do the job.
Although right now he's about to get passed by 2 other cars, including Kyle Busch. There goes the 33 of Boyer, and here comes Busch. So Montoya, who has dominated all day, all of a sudden finds himself deep trouble with the laps running down. 17 next time by.
Yeah, and here comes Kevin Harvick up for the lead too.
Down the front straightaway, there's Harvick as he is closing on the number 1 of Jamie McMurray.
Well, the best thing that happened to these guys that took 2 tires were that 6 of them decided to do that, and that separated them, let them get out here in this clean air, maybe be able to decide this among themselves if we don't have another caution.
Yeah, they almost buried those guys that took 4 tires in this dirty air, and you can see how much it's worth.
Back in 3rd, that was Tony Stewart. Remember, at halfway, he was 13th. Look at further back. Montoya is still trying to get around. Here comes Carl Edwards taking a peek underneath. Kyle Busch has taken a spot away from him.
So we saw this very thing when Montoya got back in traffic last year at the end of the race after being dominant. He just couldn't make up any ground then.
He is 9th right now on the racetrack, and he is losing ground to his teammate. He's 2.5 seconds behind the race lead. The front 2 are trying to check out from Tony Stewart and Mark Martin and company. Coming into 2, you see Jeff Burton taking a look underneath. He's going to go underneath Mark Martin. Here comes Greg Biffle. Biffle, the 4 tires seem to be working better for him, definitely, than Montoya.
Well, he's definitely the fastest car on 4 tires right now.
As we watch both ends of the track right here, Harvick taking a peek, but will not try and make the move going into 3.
Oh, what a great call this has been for Kevin Harvick. He's been solid all day, but nothing up at the front.
Now, this is the closest sniff he has had to the race lead all day long.
And he is working McMurray over right here. He might have him.
Coming down the stretch. Boy, look at this. Kevin Harvick makes it look easy this time as he becomes our 10th. Oh, no, trouble right at the pit end.
Montoya.
Yeah, we're leaders.
It's like Montoya and Jr.
Swept up in another view.
Yeah, this is just Montoya trying to make something happen there. Probably pretty frustrated that they got themselves in that position.
And I'm looking to see when the yellow comes out. The yellow's out right there, so it does look like Harvick, from that angle at least.
Yeah, I think Harvick definitely has the lead there.
Junior was 15th. Juan was 10th. Let's go on board.
You see, drove in on the outside, I believe, of Carl Edwards there. And then Junior was just innocent victim of that. You can see here.
Stay high, come on, high.
Yeah, Junior had nowhere to go with Marcus Ambrose trying to avoid the 42 car.
How fast things can change, and a very, very disappointed Juan Pablo Montoya. He has got to be wondering, what does he have to do to win this race? 2 years in a row he has led the most laps, and both times come away without the trophy. Kevin Harvick's already won this race once in his career. Can he make it a second? We're about to find out, because next time by we will have 11 laps to go around this famed 2.5 mile oval. Pace car pulls off. Field forms up. We gave you the lineup. Watch Kevin Harvick if he has the shift. As they come towards the starter stand, the green flag will fly, and we are back racing again at the Brickyard 400.
Oh, McMurray with a really good restart. Can he hang on that outside here?
Well, we're going to find out, because a lot of guys are going with him.
Well, takes the lead off of turn 1.
So give Jamie McMurray the lead. There is the 4 tires. Remember, on the 16 of Greg Biffle, he's in 4th right behind Tony Stewart. The top 4 trying to pull away. There is Clint Boyer. He's got Kurt Busch to give him a little push to get around Jeff Burton.
Yeah, looks like Burton's struggling to get up to speed here on this restart.
Boyer clears, but Kurt cannot. Now he runs up a little higher. Kyle Busch, and here goes Biffle. Boy, he makes it easy around Tony.
I think Tony made it easy for him. He kind of moved over, let him have that spot, knowing he had the 4 tires. That's probably a good move there for Biffle, because that was a key pass.
Remember, on the previous caution, he was one of the few that did take all 4. Oh, this is not looking good. Hang on. That is Logano right up underneath the 5. You're on board.
You see, really getting Mark loose there. Mark trying to shut him down.
Yeah, he's not going to do it, though.
Logano gets underneath Mark. That is for position. Move Logano into the top 10.
This is like coming off the corner at Martinsville.
Got Kenson. Here comes Casey Kane. He's getting a big push from his teammate.
Right behind him is Bill Elliott. Whoa, and coming across the bow, that is Matt Kenseth slamming over the door. And boy, Kane had to check up. Meanwhile, there comes Biffle in 3rd. Here is Tony trying to hang on to 4th. with Boyer right behind him.
Yeah, Boyer has 4 tires also.
This time by 9 laps remaining.
That'll kind of ensure that we don't have a green-white checkers. He's just holding his breath till he gets to the line.
Coming through turn number 4. It's a long way down this front straightaway to the white flag. But Jamie McMurray, as he makes his way, white flag is out. And this race is going to be official. The final lap, 2.5 miles to go.
Boy, what a great feeling. What a great job Jamie McMurray's done today. Ray Evernham sat down there. Ray, I know you're sitting there saying you're the one that picked this guy, and you have all week stuck with him. And Jamie McMurray looks like he's going to make it come true for Chip Ganassi and make you look like a genius too down there, buddy.
Down the backstretch for the last time. McMurray looking for his 5th Sprint Cup win in his 278th start. In the North Chute, Chip Ganassi, he knows he's this close to making history.
Yeah, he can start smiling now. You see it right there. You can see him coming off the corner.
Jamie McMurray is going to win Daytona and the Brickyard 400 in the same year.